Ladies and gentlemen, it is June the 24th, and we know what that means. That's correct. The Steam Summer Sales, and I have to say this is easily the best day so far. There's some really good deals, and I would encourage you to protect your wallet, because it will be crying for mercy in just a few minutes. So, let's start things out by BlackGuards. It'd be available for 66% off, which is actually fairly generous considering it's not that old. $13.59, or if you're paying in pounds, that's £10.19. Once again, 66% off. So I didn't mind this game actually. I did it as a first impressions. I quite liked it. It's quite storyline driven, but at the same time, it does have some flaws in the gameplay, which it did slightly irritate me. What I'd personally recommend is that you check out the First Impressions review, simply because it'll give you an idea whether the style of gameplay is something that's for you or not, pretty much. As I've heard mixed receptions on this one, whether they like it or not. Actually, there's also a demo of this available, and so you would probably be advised to either check out the First Impressions or the demo. It can much better describe rather than me using a bunch of words to say, the same thing. Next one, Metro Complete Edition. This is 66% off again, $6.79 in dollars, or a very different price if you're paying in pounds. Wait, no, what's the exact opposite of very different price? Oh, yeah, they're exactly the same price, £6.79. That means us Brits get screwed over a little bit here. So this title is, well, pretty much set in a post-apocalyptic sci-fi world, and the idea is that basically the surface has been nuked substantially. I have covered this quite a bit on the channel. It's a very good game, but I don't know if you should buy it. The reason I say that is because basically they're remaking the titles. Metro Redux and Metro Last Right Redux. Now, this basically means that you get better graphical effects and so on. The basic core game is the same, but it's shinier looking. So it kind of depends. Personally speaking, the Redux isn't going to be a full price release anyway, so I'd be half tempted to wait. I'll leave this one to you. I would recommend the game, and I'm not saying don't buy it. I'm just pointing out that the Redux exists. Well, will exist. And so there is that concession. Brothers. So, $2.99, or if you're paying in pounds, £2.19. This has been heralded as one of the landmark video games in recent years, and honestly speaking, for the price of admission alone, it's well worth trying out. Amata on this very channel has actually done a First Impressions review, so you could check it out if you need more information regarding the gameplay and so on. I'd actually kind of recommend this title. It's very good, very pretty. Torchlight 2. Oh dear, I love this game. I'm not going to lie. It's available for $4.99 in dollars, or $3.74 in pounds. So this is a Diablo-esque clone, and the basic idea is, of course, you run through dungeons, collect loads of loot. There are a ton of mods available for this. I've covered a couple of them on the channel. We're also running a series, basically, a kind of Let's Play series with a group of us here at RGT. In case you're wondering why there's not been videos on that, it's just because we've all been really busy. Stephen, who's one of the guys that we've been playing with, has been on holiday, then he's come back. Now I'm really busy. I'm trying to review hardware and a few other bits and pieces in the background. There's just a lot of stuff. We are going to continue it. I can't really say much other than just try out this game. It's incredibly fun. Incidentally, I would recommend... Oh, by the way, there is a demo of this available. I would recommend, however, you should check out our Let's Play, simply because it's really, really, really funny. At least I think so, and that's the most important thing, right? Next title, Age of Wonders 3, 1999. This is dollars, or $14.99 if you're paying pounds. I know some people would prefer I just round it up, but hey, that 1 cent or 1 penny can make a lot of difference, right? Age of Wonders 3, I don't really know super amounts about, to be honest. but scores fairly well. It is, of course, a turn-based strategy title, and Age of Wonders is definitely fairly infamous. It does look rather beautiful, might I add. And of course, the traditional creating various diplomatic options or taking things on militarily and so on exist. Certainly, there are competitors out there, for example, Total War Shogun 2, but let's just be honest, that was a little bit disappointing with some of the bugs out there. One of the primary concerns with this game does seem to be balance. Some people have pointed out that some of the units are a bit too strong and it's a bit too easy to spam. I'm unsure how or if this has been addressed with patches, so do a bit of checking. But if you're interested in conquering the world, this is a pretty good price for it in my personal opinion. So, Call of Duty Ghosts, 50% off, which is pretty reasonable, I guess, because, well, let's face it, Call of Duty games don't really go down massively in price. This will make it $29.99 if you're paying in dollars, or $19.99 in pounds. I honestly haven't really played this one much. I played it briefly, and then I was like, nah. I know that's not a particularly incredible endorsement, but it's like another Call of Duty at the end of the day. Here's the thing, if you're interested in this for the single player, don't bother, to be totally honest. From what I've played and from what I'm hearing, it's just not up to the snuff comparison to what it was advertised to be. I'm really hoping the new Call of Duty fixes some of this. Now, what about multiplayer? Well, here's the problem. The new Call of Duty at the end of the day is going to be released fairly soon in comparison. And let's face it, everyone who's been playing this game since the beginning is probably going to murder you by now. They know all the maps and stuff. So, I'm not saying don't buy it, but at the same time, it's like, you just have to be a bit smart. Like, you know, does everyone being most likely have a major advantage over you? Does that bother you? Personally, I'm not a super Call of Duty fan anyway. I did quite like Black Ops 1, and I also really like Call of Duty 4, but I personally never really got into Ghosts. That's not to say it's a bad game. It's solid. It is the traditional Call of Duty experience. I just don't necessarily think that the PC version, let's face it, the graphics aren't exactly amazing as well on the PC and so on. I'm not necessarily saying that it's worth the plumping for the cash. Not a bad game. I just don't think it's a particularly solid Call of Duty. Anyway, Fallout New Vegas. This is the Ultimate Edition. $6.79 in dollars, or if you're paying in pounds, it's going to cost you £5.09. I don't really think I have to explain much about this game. It's another one of those post-apocalyptic style titles, and I guess if you've not played it, the best way of putting it would be Skyrim, but it with weapons, and that's really not doing the game justice. The thing about Fallout is that it does have its own little brand of humor, and honestly there are a lot of bugs in the game. Like sometimes, for example, you'll get quests that simply are very difficult to complete because, for example, the person giving you the quest won't spawn or certain events won't happen, but that's just kind of part and parcel of the charm. I actually don't mind Fallout, both 3 and New Vegas, but I'll be honest, I've not completed either. I just can't get into them enough, and it's really irritating because I know the game's good, but I just can't get it into it. But I would recommend checking it out. I mean, this is the Ultimate Edition, so at the end of the day, you are getting extra shinies. I would probably say that it's worth picking up. If you can get into it, you're going to have a lot of hours that are going to be sunk into it anyway. And there is a pretty cool moral choice system in this game as well, which I personally like. So, last two, Murdered Soul Suspect, 33% off, which is actually pretty good considering it's new. $33 or £20. I'm just going to round it up. Who cares about a few pennies, right? Not personally played this one. I was actually going to be doing a full review of it, but then I just never got around to doing it, unfortunately. I've heard mixed receptions about this game, and some people absolutely love it, while others say it's pretty much part and parcel of everything else. Metacritic and other review sites are pretty much split down the middle. Graphically, it looks okay. It's not anything amazing. What I'd personally recommend is you check out a couple of gameplay videos and stuff like that, and make your decision based upon that. Unfortunately, I don't believe there is a demo. No, there's not. I just double checked. So you're going to have to kind of make your decision based upon that. As I said, Metacritic, other websites are 50-50. Some people absolutely love it. Some people say it's just been done to death and not anything amazing gameplay-wise. So I'm not going to tell you guys one way or the other because I've not played it. Splinter Cell Blacklist. So this is available for 75% off at $7.49 if you're paying in dollars, or if you're paying in pounds, it's actually $4.99. So that's a pretty good price. Personally, I wasn't sure how I felt about this. Graphically, it's really impressive, I will say. And it actually runs really well on PC. I was actually a really big fan of Conviction. And Blacklist is pretty cool. I've done a first impressions of this, and it's very similar to what you'd imagine gameplay-wise. Like, all the stealth mechanics are there and all of that good stuff. I'm not necessarily convinced about the mission hub system at times, but in terms of actual gameplay and in terms of overall stealth mechanics, I think it works extremely well. So if you're cruising for Metal Gear Solid, this isn't exactly a replacement, but it's pretty cool. Personally, I would recommend checking this out. There is a deluxe version of this which comes with various other shinies, and I'm not going to give you a recommendation whether you should pick up the deluxe or not. It's only a few dollars more, but at the same time, it's like a lot of it is like co-op missions and that type of thing. So if you're not interested, like for example me personally, I don't play these games for online. I just don't give a crap about the co-op. So if I was buying it, I personally wouldn't get the deluxe edition because at the end of the day, it's just not going to benefit me. But that's just my personal opinion. Anyway, guys, that's just about it for this particular video. By the way, just to clarify, I would recommend Blacklist. I think it's a pretty cool game. But as I said, I have got first impressions if you need more information. Anyway, that's just about it for this particular video. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. I'll see you soon. Take care, and remember to guard your wallet at night because Steam will try to grab it. Anyway, take care. Bye for now.